Let's be real for a second. Being an independent artist in 2025 is so difficult, so hard. And the difference between artists who develop and grow and make it into making music their full-time career and artists that stay stuck where they are and have the stress of a 9-to-5 job as well is in strategy. Today I'm answering the 5 most asked questions by indie artists, and trust me, you are going to want to hear the answers because they might help you out in your strategy towards 2025 and making it as an up-and-coming artist this year. Hi, my name is Jodie Bryan. I'm a presenter, but I also work in the music industry. I'm on a lot of playlist meetings. I have helped artists get festival lineups. I've secured them bookings for support slots, as well as get managers, all through new music events that I curate, including my Night Discover Live. Next one is on February the 25th, and it's nearly sold out, and I want to see you there if you're an artist. More on why you should be there later, but the truth is, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to new music, and I want to help you make it and get your career on the straight and narrow, so you feel like you have a direction. And we're going to be going through 5 of the most asked questions that I get asked by independent artists and how I think you should tackle them. Grab your notebooks because we're about to dive in. If you find this video helpful or these kind of videos helpful, please like and subscribe. Also drop a comment because it really helps. I'm really trying to grow on YouTube and I'm trying to help you grow as an artist. If you try and help me grow on YouTube, then that's how I feel about you. So question number 1. How do I get an editorial playlist? This is one of the biggest questions and the biggest kind of gate-kept secrets. That is another thing that I'm really trying to do with these videos is get rid of gatekeeping. We don't like it. Discover Live, my new music platform, doesn't like it. And we're all about ripping up the gatekeeping rulebook and telling you what you need to know. That's too hot to drink right now. So how do I get on an editorial playlist? This is something that took me a while and working with a lot of artists to realize. And I actually hosted a Fresh Finds workshop at Spotify HQ last year. And I kind of felt a bit sneaky, like I was diving in there and getting to know like how you actually do it. And there are a few routes. Again, like with most creative careers, there is no set strategy. However, there are ways that you can make your song more likely to end up finding itself on an editorial playlist. So let's go through them because there's a lot to say. When you pitch to a Spotify playlist, they like you to be as exact as possible. So I know when you pitch to playlists, you can pick the genres, the influences, where you're from, like a bio, like a pitch about the song and why it's special to you, all those things. Do not waste those opportunities. Fill them out as detailed as you possibly can. And also don't get it wrong. Like if you've written a jazz R&B track, but you like pop artists, don't call it pop. Like stay in the genre that you think it would fit into the playlist. That kind of goes without saying, but I'm just putting everything I know out on the table here. In your pitch to Spotify or other playlists, they really like to see that you have future plans. I have heard artists get on New Music Friday and they haven't even said anything about the song. They've just said about the future plans that they have for them as an artist. So that might be something to consider, but they really like it when you talk about, future plans, merch, exclusives, fan involvement, what you've got coming up, gigs, tickets that you've sold, stuff like that shows you are on the move, and that is why you deserve a place in this editorial playlist. Because getting on there is really difficult, but once you get the first one or the first few, you are then kind of on Spotify or whatever other streaming services radar, and it's really helpful. So yeah, as much information as possible is really helpful to Spotify, and then they can see that you're on the up. They also do tend to check out your socials if they're interested. These playlists and editors, they want to see that you're doing stuff, you're out and about, you've got a bit of momentum. So it all kind of is a massive cycle of what you're up to and just showing that you are out and about taking charge of your music, and then you will get picked up by an editorial. And New Music Friday isn't the be all and end all. I know artists that have never been picked up by New Music Friday, and they are making a living from being an artist, and they're getting recognized by Spotify. So I just do want to put that out there. Aim for other editorials, and really think about what playlists your song would sit in well, and engage on streaming platforms. Like, have playlists of your own that kind of match your vibe of your singles. That really helps as well. That all kind of combines and can culminate in you getting on that editorial. Also, I don't really know about them yet, but use Spotify clips. Like YouTube Shorts, like Reels, like TikToks. Everyone just wants you to use their platform, so don't ignore new features on a platform that you want to be utilized on. Question two. How do I book more live gigs? This is such a common question, and if you're not getting live gigs, do not panic. You'll get there. Live gigs, festivals, they are really hard to secure those slots, because putting on gigs, even though there are gigs all the time, getting on a lineup, playing one, having the funds to play one, it's all so difficult. So what I would say is, if you're not getting gigs, if you're not getting lineups, and if you're reaching out to people, think about who else can you reach out to. Go kind of a rung lower than what you're reaching out to. I spoke about this a bit in my last video about the Glastonbury Emerging Talent Contest, about how reaching out to local and smaller festivals is often really worthwhile, and more worthwhile than you sending an email to the big boy festivals if you're an emerging artist, because without a label, because the labels are the ones who have the connections to the bigger festivals. Unless a massive kind of social media buzz is surrounding you, the big festivals are sometimes just really difficult to get on the lineup for. So yeah, email kind of smaller bars, pubs. There are so many different venues, and venues themselves, they want music, they want people to bring people, they want to have nights more than ever right now. So think about kind of local bars, pubs, event spaces, and you could even do something of your own in a really small space. If you don't feel comfortable selling loads of tickets, find the smallest space you can, turn it into a bit of a thing, an intimate session, get it videoed, create content from it, and just do it yourself. Because if you're not getting booked for gigs, it might be because people you've messaged looked on your profile and think they're not playing any gigs. But if you do put on a gig and you play a gig and you have content from it, people will then see like, oh, they're out there doing stuff. I'm gonna book them for this because that looked really good. And don't waste any opportunity where you perform, even if it is at your local pub, singing covers. Maybe try and get in one original. I'd be a bit cheeky and do that, because what you gotta lose? And get it videoed and get that on socials. Show how talented you are, because there's nothing worse than playing an amazing gig and having no content from it, and only the people that were there remembered it. And obviously that is really special for them, but in the day of social media, it's very important to get content from every gig you do. Also, there are great and easy lineups to get on, like my New Music Monday at the Ned. Every week I have a lineup of 4 emerging artists, grassroots level, and it's a free gig for people to attend, but it's paid. You get free food and it's yummy. I'm unhealthy every Monday because of it, and drinks, and you perform to, it's more like a little restaurant vibe, but it's really good for grassroots artists. So just let me know if you want to play that. I post about it all the time on my Instagram at Disc Live, which is my kind of music Instagram, because my personal one was just getting crazy. So yeah, let me know if you want to play it, and that also can get you off to a really good start, because it's quite a well-respected new music industry event, so it looks really good if you have played it. Always here to offer a helping hand. Question number 3, how do I get a fan base without spending loads of money? Well, first of all, I feel like these 2 questions are totally different. Like, yes, money helps when you're an artist, but money doesn't buy a fan base. Fan bases exist and develop because they fall in love with the artist. They become obsessed with them. They want to be their best friend. They want to be in their little secret gang. And that is what so many artists struggle with, and I know is really hard, is the posting and the being present, being there like I'm being there right now. You just gotta get over it and start speaking to your audience like a friend, and they will fall in love with you. It's the cheapest, easiest way of promoting yourself as an artist. Just filming little videos every day, turning up, showing up, because that is gonna make fans want to engage with you because you're always there. They want to support your music because you're always there, and you can speak to them, which is great. And that is how fan bases begin, and then they catapult and turn into something bigger. And the ones who are really special are the ones who were there from the beginning, and you'll know that. But yeah, growing a fan base is a tough one. I think showing up on social media is the number one thing, and then without spending a load of money. I know, Rachel Chinariri, for example, huge artist right now. She's absolutely killing it, and I am obsessed with her. She's obviously not a small artist anymore, but I know that she is really engaged with her fan base. They're called the Darlings, and she writes them letters. She writes handwritten, that's free, apart from buying some paper, I guess. And you could do something like that. You could, I know Matilda Cole, who's another great artist. She designed tarot cards that went with the songs on her EP and gave them to fans at her gig for free. That was a cheap way of doing stuff. Stickers are really cheap. QR codes are free to create, and you can put them on a sticker, stick them around, and just make sure that when people scan that QR code, there is something to find at the end of it, e.g. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. New music video, something that people are going to want to engage with. And replying to the comments, I say this in literally all my videos, so sorry if I sound like a broken record. Reply to the comments, even if the same fan comments on all your videos, just reply, because they matter. And once you start nurturing a few fan relationships, fostering them, writing them letters, giving them exclusive merch that hasn't cost you an arm and a leg to produce and create, then you will see the fandom growing. And yeah, it's really magical. And yeah, just make them feel exclusive. Just make your fans feel like they want to be there and they're lucky to be there. But yeah, don't be a dick about it, obviously. That goes without saying. But yeah, live streams as well, really important. Once you hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, exclusives, teasers, and then you could exclusively leak stuff on the live stream. And then if you're lucky and they're really engaged, they'll then comment on a post you did after the live stream, being like, oh my God, we know the secret. And you could be like, hee hee hee, you only get to know the secrets if you're on the live stream. It's all like this, it goes like that. And it's slow. Don't ever expect it to be quick. Nothing is quick. Growing on any platform is not quick. Growing a fan base is not gonna happen quickly, but you can do it cheaply and cost effectively, especially to start with. And there's that saying where if you've got 1,000 fans, I think it's 1,000, maybe it's less, that will buy your merch, buy your songs, stream your music, you're sorted. So just keep going, because you got this. Number 4, artists always ask me, should I be releasing singles or an EP or an album? What should I do? How should I release? And honestly, it's up to you. This is a bit of a, depends on the situation kind of question. Singles are always the best for a brand new artist. You never want to go in and just drop an album without anyone knowing who you are. There is no point. But if you really wanted to, you obviously could. But singles are the way to go. I think if you're on a steady kind of single release treadmill, you release 6 singles in a year, and you've developed a fan base of people who engage, maybe you've got 50 hardcore fans who or more who are on your close friends, you've sent them exclusive stickers and merch and little goodie bags, whatever, then maybe in January of the next year you drop an EP with a bonus track, or even a stripped back version of one of the songs, because then it's a little reward, and you've kind of collected all of that that time into an EP. I don't really think there's much point in releasing an EP that's completely new and completely new material. It's almost just nice to have a body of work. It sounds so music industry when I say that. But yeah, I think singles, just turn them into an EP and maybe add an extra special present in there for the fans. But an album, I would wait personally. Like, an album's a big deal. Like, Big Pig's only just released or is about to release her debut album. She's been around for years. I've been supporting her. Rose Gray's just released her debut album. Been supporting her for years. Griff's debut album only dropped last year. Again, all these artists, now big names, but for years they didn't drop an album. So album you don't need to worry about. Singles and EPs, kind of just try it out. And if you haven't released for a while, just stick to singles, I would say. And finally, question number 5. This is an important one. So if you've stuck around till now, thank you very much. And remember, if you did find this video helpful, I would love it if you subscribed and liked and commented. I love you. Also, this is a new little heart thing that I learned the other day. So we've moved on from this, guys. Apparently it's this now. I like it. It's a lot less complicated. But number 5, one of the most important questions is, how the hell do I make money as an independent artist in 2025? Well, guys, it's tough out there, and you know, it's famously a job that, you know, people like Kate Nash are going around saying it's more of a hobby, and she's not wrong. Everything she's saying is correct. I love Kate Nash, but there are ways to make money as an artist and make music your job. So let's go through some of the options. Option number 1, which I think is totally doable. A lot of venues and a lot of gigs and a lot of restaurants even love kind of covers. They love covers, artists who can rock up, sing an acoustic set, or just even to track and just do the hits, you know, not cheesy. Sometimes they do want cheesy. Not cheesy, and you just got them ready to go and you can smash out, you know, Valerie by the Zootons / Amy Winehouse, you know, songs that are hits, but people love to hear them. And if you've got a covers list and the ability to do covers, film a little demo, send it out to pubs, to restaurants, and say, look, I'm available for covers, because those gigs are paid, and then you can fund, you know, doing the gigs that aren't paid but support your artist project, or you can fund, you know, making the artwork for your next single if you needed some props or a new outfit. So yeah, covers gigs, filming a covers demo, so worthwhile. Just don't lose your personality as an artist. I know it's really hard. Like, I know a few artists that got so deep into the covers world that then became their whole personality. But as long as you're aware of that potentially happening, just don't let it. And then on from covers gigs, there are function gigs, which are like if a big company needs a singer to sing covers, or even some original stuff at a product launch or a company birthday or a whatever, weddings, you know, those kind of gigs. They're always paid really well, and you just gotta like reach out to kind of friends and family, or like maybe you have a connection, or LinkedIn is really good for stuff like this. Reach out, send a video demo, or like have a link to your website or your TikTok where there's a video of you doing something similar, or just singing a song that would like suit the vibe of a function. And those are good money. Like, I know artists that do like 3-4 of those a month, and that's them sorted. Obviously they are on the lucky end of the function gig spectrum, but trust me, it is a good one. Other ways are, obviously you've got to make sure, this is all the admin bit that I think they make it hard for you on purpose, honestly. Make sure your PRS and PPL are up to date, because then if your song is played at a gig, at a venue, on the radio, on a BBC introducing show, you will get small amount of money for it, but that's worthwhile. Making merch that is really cheap to make, not ethically damaging if you can, but you know, batch merch can be really cheap, and you can just make a design on Canva. Love Canva, I'm obsessed with it, and you can sell it for cheap. Relate to your fans, reach out to your fans, say you want them to support you. Just be really honest about how this would help. Sell a t-shirt for, you know, £10, and then they'll get a free ticket to an acoustic session with you in the park, and that's not going to cost any money to put on. You've got to be like, got to think about things like that, like outside the box. Be a bit resourceful. Also, if you do have any live shows coming up, always make sure you have merch, because I have realized that at a gig, at a live event, fans are so much more likely to buy merch. They're like in the moment, in the zone. Have a sum up machine, get it all set up. It's so simple, and almost sell like bundles of stuff, because those small bursts of income can really help. And another way that is really good for you to make money as an independent artist is just learning to do all the bits yourself. Now, this is a big kind of, I feel like there's a whole other video waiting for this chat, but just learning, educating yourself to do the stuff that costs money. So I think learning to produce as an artist is one of the most financially beneficial things you can do. Producing your songs and finding a producer that can produce the way you want them to sound is so important and can be so expensive. Artists that produce themselves get to do it for free, and they get to make the music sound exactly how they want it to sound without worrying about wasting their money. It's a win-win. It does take time and effort, but if you're dedicated, I just really believe in learning to produce. I think it's such an investment into your own time and skill and talent. Woo! Okay, I feel like that's a lot of information, so I hope you've written some notes. Hope you found that helpful. Remember, this video is always here if you need me. 5 big questions answered. If you found this helpful, then please hit subscribe, like, comment, and let me know which tip you're gonna use first and which you found the most helpful. Thank you for watching. Watch any of the other advice videos if you found this helpful, and also let me know if I didn't cover anything that you would find helpful in developing your music career. I will see you next time.